Hey everybody, Shanda Wright, ROI Done Right, where we believe in making a return on your time, money, and energy, because life's way too short to waste any of those things. And they're valuable resources. So I just wanted to come live and answer some questions. I've got a few in particular that I'm excited to answer. And one of the ones that I'm actually sitting here, I'm gonna have him ask it. This is Andrew DeRoche. I'm not French. So he's got a really phenomenal question. I really wanted to make sure that you all understood and got a chance to listen to. So I'll have you ask.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time to sit with me, first of all.
Cheers.
Very greatly appreciate it. Wine and winning.
Wine and winning.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's nice to sit here with someone so powerful and empowering to her network and the women that she works with. I guess. So my question would be, so I have a health and fitness company. So this is my logo here. It's healthandfitness.ca. So health and the letter N fitness.ca.
We'll make sure we share it in the link.
Yeah. So oh, sorry.
It's
shaking the table on you. So my question is, like, I have a lot of different products and a lot of different services. So I do a lot of personal training. I do private yoga sessions, group yoga sessions. I do group fitness. I built a meditation course that's actually linked to my website as well if you want to check that out, online course. And then I have apparel that I sell, so my shirts, my hats, hoodies, t-shirts, and tank tops. And so I've got all these skills and assets, and now I'm looking for some advice on how to market myself, right? Because I've never actually taken like a crazy marketing course or gone to school for business or anything like that, right? So I guess my question is to Shanda is, like, where do I go from here? How do I build that marketing plan? And do you have any advice or guidance for me to move forward through my marketing journey?
This is the best question, and I actually probably have gotten this 5 or 6 times this week. So how many of you, and we'll just see, I mean, obviously if you're live, put a 1 in the comments. If you're watching the replay, put a 2. But how many people have more than one business that you're running and you're not sure how to market them cohesively? I've definitely worked with a couple of people I know in the health and fitness industry that are getting into the business or financial industry, and they have that question, right? So this is very, very common. Because the truth is, and I'll actually ask you some questions, because I want to show you what this looks like. It's really not that complicated once you get down to the core. So I'm going to ask you questions. First question.
Yeah.
Why do you do all these things?
I have a deep passion for helping people find health and fitness, right? So finding a healthy body, a mind, right? Obviously with meditation and yoga, and just becoming stronger, better versions of themselves, right? So I guess it came to the point where I was like, I really love to be in the gym and do yoga and practice yoga myself and meditate myself. So the more I love it, the more I want to share it with other people.
Okay, great. And then what unique qualities can you bring to the world to be able to operate well in these different areas? Like, what is the strength inside you?
Yeah, so I think my most valuable asset is my personality, right? I'm very uplifting, supportive, fun, right? Like, I make health and fitness fun, which is like
it's a big deal.
kind of paradoxical, but I bring, like, my clients always tell me that, like, I bring the enthusiasm and the motivation and the support that they need with just a really good attitude, right? So the energy that I bring and my enthusiasm is probably my best asset, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, great. Why did you add the other pieces to your business? What did you start with, and why did you add the other pieces?
So I started with, when it comes to the business side of things, I started with the yoga. I went and got my teacher training in 2014, and I just love doing it. So the more I love doing it, the more I wanted to share it with the world. And then the health and fitness stuff, like health coaching, nutrition, and strength building, came afterwards, because I love being strong, and I love that feeling of going to the gym and challenging myself and crushing my goals and just building a strong, healthy body, right? So it kind of all intertwines together, right? It's all very related. It's like the healthy mind, healthy body, healthy soul, right? So that
Okay.
kind of answers your questions.
It totally does. And I absolutely love this. And I love who's watching right now. So, if you guys have ever felt like you have gone on a journey, you've taken a step, and then all of a sudden the next step and the next step and the next step, the process of going through that journey, you've learned how to actually add more to your original thought. If you've done that, add a 5. I want a 5 in the comments. I figured out that when people put numbers, that 5's the least common, so now I just want to use 5s. I'm sure there's some numerologist that'll help me understand why 5 sticks out to me, but I'm pretty sure it's just because no one ever says drop a 5 in the comments. So if you've been there, I want you to drop a 5 because it's actually more common. It's probably something I've heard 4 or 5 or 6 times just this week. Because what happens is you go on an initial journey. You don't have to see the whole staircase before you take the first step. So what's going to happen is you're going to move towards what feels good, what feels compelling and exciting for you. And what's going to happen is you're going to see some success, but you're also going to have some clarity about what it is that is how you operate in this moment, in this space. But you're also going to have some clarity about how your message and how you can impact the world. So when you start realizing that this isn't a task, this is a mission, then what happens is you start seeing the other things, the other people, the other opportunities that connect to that mission. So for example, great in this situation where, you start with mind-body connection and you move into strength, because the truth is the stronger your body is, the stronger your mind is once they're connected. But you can't disconnect those two, which is why you can build a business on that. Now, I have some friends who really are, it's actually a lot of health coaches, so I'm going to use the health coach in this example, that have moved into entrepreneurialism, financial coaching, trading, something like that, where their background is in health and fitness. And then they're like, well, how do I talk to people about money and fitness? And it's like, do you not want to help people win? Can you win in life without your health or without money? Right? So there's a common thread, and the common thread is you. You are the common thread. And I'm just going to speak to the audience, but I'm speaking to you. I just want you to know that. So you are the common thread, and your heart, your mission, your purpose, what it is, your why, the why you got started, that's the part that is special, and the reason that all the things connect. You're the only common denominator. You may not be the only one, but how you show up in those places is unique, but it is special and it is connected. So the truth is that instead of marketing, when we're looking at marketing, you're not going to market what you do. As Simon Sinek says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Okay? So why do you do what you do? I do what I do because I want you to be free. That's it, period. I want you to know what it feels like to have no one tell you what to do and to not have to do anything that doesn't feel good. I don't want you to ever sacrifice what's right for what you have to do to pay a bill. I don't want you to ever spend time doing something that sucks your soul or depletes you. Do you know how many employees I talk to who literally feel dead at the end of the day? They spend 8 hours, which is a lot of time, but they spend 8 hours doing something that drains their soul to the point where they can't function or think after. That's disgusting. That's slavery, and I hate it. They're making a margarita. It's fine. Somebody needs a margarita. I get it. I get it. I'm with you. There we go. So, all of that being said, it really is... You're the core. Your personal brand needs to be, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. They buy you. They follow the leader. They don't care about the execution. And if someone cares about the superficial what that you do, you're going to lose them along the way, because the what isn't going to be as strong for them, because their why is superficial too. So it's important that you understand why you show up the way you show up, why you have chosen these different venues, and why you feel they all need to be connected. And then you need to speak about your why, not your what. I trade and flip real estate. I love fitness, health, mental health, personal development. Great. So what do? I tell you what you can and can't do. The how, that's logistical. We do that together. If you have money, you want to invest. If you have no money and you want to learn how to get the money, if you don't have any time, I can help you with that, of course. But that's not what I sit here and talk about. I talk about what it takes for you to believe it's possible, because I know you're the reason you're not getting it. You're the only reason. It's your fear of what other people think. It's your fear of what people are going to judge. If someone rejects yoga, it's not personal. If someone rejects Andrew, it's personal. It takes more guts to stand up and say, I stand for this. I believe in this. This is why I execute this way. This is why I believe these things need to come together. That takes strength and guts, and people will be polarized by it. They'll hate it and they'll love it. So you have to be okay with the fact people are going to hate you. So if you're sitting there wondering why won't people join me, it's because they don't know what you stand against. If you are worried about what other people think, you're not going to have enough conviction to lead anybody anywhere. And if you're trying to describe the product or service, stop it. No one buys that. If I want physical empowerment, if I want to feel strong, be strong, do strong things in my mind and in my body and in my soul, and I want to show up in the world that way, that's why I should call you. Not because of the what, but because of the why. And my favorite thing is in the fitness industry in particular, Jillian Gorson, I think is how I say her name. That woman, she's on a mission to help you love your body exactly the shape it's in. She wants women who aren't what they think their body should look like to feel good in it. And she's on a mission to do that. How often does she talk about how to run? She never does. She doesn't give instructions. She gives vision that says, what if you felt comfortable just as you are and you could go to the next level? What if that was true? So when you can actually have the conversation that speaks to the heart, the actual problem, the actual issue, which for the record is always, I'm worried I won't be enough and therefore I won't be loved. So all of your audience, how you deliver that into the world, you need to talk to the people that you serve and make sure you speak to that part of them. Every single one of us, it's reptilian, it's instinctive. We're worried that we're not enough and therefore we won't be loved. So if I didn't feel I was strong enough, fit enough, successful enough to get what I want out of life, I didn't have enough energy, that's gonna hold me back. And so you need to call the things out that are the lies that your audience, your desired clientele are believing about themselves that keep them from action. You have to do it. So when you communicate, talk about your why. When you're branding, make sure the core values are consistent, use similar words from day to day, and try to make it simple. No one can remember more than 3 things at once. So the 3 things when it comes to branding yourself is 1, know why you do what you do. And just ask yourself, why do I do all these things? Why do I golf? Why do I shoot guns? Why do I travel the world? Why do I invest in real estate? It's the same why. It's exactly the same why. Because I want to enjoy the moment. And I never want to miss out on a single task, a single moment, and I love excellence. I love excellence. And I love when I'm in control of my destiny. And I want you to be in control of yours. In golf, nothing happens until I touch that ball. And the idea that you can swing and hit a tee and have a perfect shot and then put a 2-ounce ball on a little tee and it messes with your head, that I love, the psychology of it, right? Shooting, you have to be completely centered and completely in the moment. So I do things that put me in the moment because that's my passion, is really enjoying each moment, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. It's just not. So that's my heart, is that you would enjoy this moment, that you wouldn't sacrifice this moment for some later moment or for something you don't want to do. So my why is the same, no matter what I'm talking about, which is why I can connect those things. So you have to know why you do it. You also have to know your role in it. My role is to call the things that aren't as if they already are and to tell you what's true, right? So your role is to empower and create a space where they feel like it's a good time. You take the suffering out. You take the suffering out of people's bodies. You take the suffering out of the process. You take the suffering out. That's beautiful. What else can you take the suffering out of? Let's go do that. Let's take suffering out of the world, right? So you got to figure out why you want it, what your role is in it, and then the tools that you use to communicate it. And make sure that you put those 3 things in each message, which is why I start with my mission statement in every single live. It's why I can have wine and winning on Fridays and also can call you out on Tuesdays and also can go golfing on Wednesdays. It's the same. So it's just about consistency of the core values. The outside doesn't matter. Gary Vaynerchuk's the king at this, in my opinion. So this guy invests in sports cards, right? He does sports cards, he does personal development advice, and he does marketing, specifically in sports as well as in media. Okay, so this guy loves empowering you to live life on your terms. Whether you're an athlete, whether you're a business person, whether you're an online coach, mentor, whatever, what he says is you do you, boo. he's the epitome of it. So that's why I love following the guy. So that's like one of my favorite questions. Thank you so much for bringing it up, because really the process of connecting what you want to add in, the reason it resonates with you is because it's for you. And you have a platform and people who listen to you. Go show them everything you know and talk about the core of it so that they can join the cause and the core, not the thing. So that way when you change companies, when you change environments, when you change cities, you're not going to lose them because it's cause driven, it's heart driven, it's mind driven, it's not stuff driven. We don't need any more superficial relationships, guys. I'm done with that. Superficial is so overdone. We've done way too much of it. So I actually have another question. I want you guys to drop questions in the chat, please. Please and thank you. I'm not here to just be a talking head. I want some more questions. Please, 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 please. But Teresa, actually, I had this amazing friend ask me this other question that I want to share with you, but I want you to drop them in. Drop it. Drop a question. Any question about anything. It could be debt reduction, business, relationships, family, fitness, life, anything. I don't care. Do it. I want a question. Your ego is not your amigo. Get it, Lance? I like that. We should get t-shirts made with that. I love it. So the question that I got from Teresa is she is a very analytical personality. She is very direct and very analytical, very results driven. And I asked her about being coachable and teachable. This was a really fun thing. And she said, well, I don't know how to be coachable and teachable and satisfy my own personal creativity. Or not creativity, curiosity. I like to understand why things happen, but it comes across as antagonistic or insubordinate or hurtful when I'm not being that. I'm just curious. And so I want to share with you kind of the tactic to be in a situation to ask curious questions with honor, because I was exactly that person. I used to be bratty. And it's not because my heart was bratty. It was because the way that I chose to deliver it was bratty. So one of the things that I have often said is delivery matters. Delivery matters. If you've got a steak, let's use a burger. I don't care if it's a veggie burger or not. So we got a veggie burger, right? We're gonna put a veggie burger on a plate. It's delicious. It's so good. It smells good. It tastes good, right? You put it in a blender and you serve it as a smoothie. I'm gonna take the burger. So, delivery matters. I'm at the Lighthouse. Hello, come see me, come see me, come see me. Lighthouse, downtown Nanaimo, right on the ocean. Ooh, we should probably show the ocean. We'll do that at the end. So, delivery matters. And the highest form of honor and respect is delivering content in a way that your audience can see it, hear it, taste it, and appreciate it for what it is. Don't put your burger in a blender. Just don't do it. So if you have a curious question, or if you need to correct somebody, if you need to correct your child, if you need to be curious about something that is not essentially your place to question, if you want to remain coachable and keep getting advice and information, this is the key. Okay, there's 2 steps. 1, speak respect and love into their character. Okay? I really appreciate what a diligent, amazing leader you are. It means the world to me that you always make learning new things fun and easy. And then you need to take ownership for the question. I'm really curious. I would love to learn more about how you make decisions. Can you tell me why you made this decision? Why is this way? So you take ownership for your position and lack of knowledge, admit your ignorance and also your respect. It gives them a mentor dynamic instead of a insubordinate dynamic. So if you want to understand something from your spouse, because you guys are even, same. So if you're sitting there in a spousal relationship and you guys bicker because she's nagging and he doesn't tell you what's going on, or he keeps too quiet and she doesn't, keep him in the loop, or whatever your thing is, then just go to him and say, you're an honorable, amazing man. Thank you so much for taking care of our family and being such a phenomenal head of our household. I'm really curious. I'd love to learn more about how you make decisions because I really value your position on this. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you chose to do this instead of that? I want to learn your perspective. When you come from that heart and you use words like that, you're gonna get more information, more coaching, and more openness. When we go in on the offense, the other person's on defense. No one's defensive against someone with their hands down. So stop being offensive and you'll get more answers. So that was the second question. And now I'm just gonna see if there's anybody else who has a question. I feel like there's just a bunch of people watching, but nobody asking questions. Do you have any more? Yeah, I don't see any questions. You guys stink. Write a question in here. I want questions. This is literally the point of Q&A. So do you have any others? Specific?
I don't know.
You can just say goodbye. It doesn't matter. They're fine. Obviously.
Nothing I can really think of, but yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about your investing journey and how you're doing all that stuff. So I'm excited for where this conversation is going to go in a minute.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll tell you my investing journey just started with another deal in Texas today. So exciting. Yeah, I'm so pumped and hello guys. Hi Jody. Hi Lance. Good to see you. So yeah, I got another house in Texas. Got, more going on down there. We're doing multifamily deals in Canada. How do I get Mike to listen? You listen to him first.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. And I love you, Sandra, and I love Mike. I love you both so much. You reap what you sow, you get what you give. If you're not being listened to, go into the relationship with the intention of just listening for the next month. If you never try to be heard and all you do is try to understand, you can win more friends in 2 minutes by becoming genuinely interested in them than you can by spending 2 years trying to become getting people genuinely interested in you. I know, Sandra, you have a heart that does. He doesn't hear it that way. So if you want him to listen, what you do is you go and you say, how can I listen better? How can I listen in the way he needs me to? You're listening with your heart and your perspective. Oh, it's your 9-year anniversary. Congratulations. I remember, can you believe that was 9 years ago? Still one of my favorite weddings of all time. I absolutely love it. But that concept of go into it and say, how can you go to the next level? If you're not getting enough of what you need, listening, understanding, curiosity, people asking about your day, go and sow 10 times the seed for 10 times the time. I want you to outperform the people you're asking to supply and perform for you. So if you're not feeling heard, go listen, okay? The most important relationships that I had, the ones that have lasted 5, 10, 20, 30 years, those people who didn't listen to me, you know what I did? I listened for 3 years, 4 years. They say a month a year. So for every damage or hurt or pain, if you're healing from a relationship, if you're grieving from a death, if you're getting over a past hurt, that a month a year. So if you have been, for example, in a relationship for 10 years, expect to go and not ask him to listen for 10 months. Just go and do it, and I promise it works. And you know what? It's hard because you feel alone and you feel empty, and that's why you come to a coach like me. That's why I have coaching and masterminds and things. Come let me listen. I'll listen to you all freaking day. I love it. I will listen to you talk, and I will hear your heart, and I create that space. But don't ask him to do it until you've given it to him first. Someone gave it to me so freely that I didn't have to earn it, that now I give it away. So if you want to earn it, you got to go do it first. That's real life. As a person that speaks her truth, how can I help others to understand that my truth is never meant as judgment on who they are? Oh, dang, girl. I like this one. This is good. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do in this experience in myself is to sit down in your home, in your quiet time in the morning, and I want you to start setting intentions. Setting intentions of understanding. And I truly believe that people seek to understand when they're feeling understood. I'm going to say that again. People seek to understand when they're feeling understood. Most people seek to be understood when they don't feel understood. And therefore, their goal is to be understood instead of to understand. So do more understanding. Go sow more understanding. And the other thing that I want you to do is to daily journal on why love is not conditional for you. I had this. I literally had a family member that I love with my whole freaking heart, like the person I probably love the most in the world, said, if you choose to do this behavior, then I can't have you in this role in my life. I can't love you as much as I do. And I had to come to the place that said, my love is not conditional even on your love or understanding in return. So when you have that space and that understanding and that willingness to say, I will love you no matter what. I will understand you even if you don't understand me. Okay? My brother is the freaking best at this. We're gonna do a podcast together. I swear to goodness, it's gonna go viral. So we talked about it last night. This concept that says, we will go in, I wish he was here. He has the psychology, words, the big fancy ones. But when we are genuinely coming to a place where we can not have our behavior, not have our needs be a criteria of what other people do. So for example, I said to him, I was like, I couldn't believe that I didn't understand we had the same goals and the same mission because you used words that were trigger words for me. He's like, I know, I've been so mad at you for 10 years because you're just not hearing me because I spent so much time trying to be understood. So when I finally got to the place that said, okay, agree to disagree, let me just see if I can understand him better so I can honor him more. Not so I can get him to listen, not so I can get him to do anything. That's manipulation and usury, and you're going to get more and more of that if you sow more and more of that. You have to come from a genuine place of understanding, leave the space open for you guys to disagree. What if they never understand you? Is that going to be okay? What does your relationship look like? You need to let go of the expectations of the destination and love the process and love them for who they are. Because when you can love them for who they are, then, just maybe then, they can love you for who you are. But it needs to not be contingent. It's not usury, it's not manipulation. The only time when you remove that and you just say, you know what, you do you, I love it. It's not my cup of tea. We'll create boundaries, we'll create space. I'm not gonna, you choose your peers, you love your family. You may not need them in your life because they make different choices. But it doesn't mean that your love is contingent on that. So you need to really spend some time with unconditional love and define love for yourself. For me, it meant no matter who you are, what you do, or how often we talk, I appreciate you for who you were made to be. And it's not because you appreciate me for who I was made to be. It's because I appreciate you for who you were made to be. And if we're asking people to love us on our journey, doing crazy things, we need to love them on their journey doing crazy things. You know what I mean? I often come off as being negative when asking questions. Yeah, I am not intentionally being negative. I would love to know how to conquer this. Totally. The truth is that you need to use spacing and try to communicate in their love language, in their verbal language. So I don't talk to outgoing, sapphire, friendly, bubbly people well, I've got an efficient and effective system that I'm not going to do that. That stresses them out. I'm going to be like, this is so much fun, come over here, right? So just understand your audience, speak to your audience, but also, again, you need to release any expectation of them doing something for you. It's not about getting them to understand, getting them to do it, getting them to see your way. It's about you seeking to understand and listen. It's the goal of listening. So what if for the next week, I'm going to post a challenge, and you know what? Anyone who does this for the next week, if you post your results and you share it on my page, I'll give you $100. So, and that's Canadian, so you US folk don't get too excited. It's like gold up here, right?
$60.
Yeah, it's like $40 American. No, I'm teasing. So I'll give you $100. I'll give you $100 in whatever your native currency is. So, literally, imagine you spend the next week only seeking to understand, not listening to talk, not responding, not saying, oh yeah, me too, just listening, just honoring. Being heard is the highest form of honor, and it's the thing we're most hungry for as humans. How many of you in this question and answer chat have just told me, how do I feel heard? How do I get the people I love most to help me feel heard? Your loved ones are saying the same thing. Go hear them. It's the biggest sign of honor. It's the highest form of love and respect you can possibly give another human. just hearing them, creating a space where there's no expectation. There's none. Just be there. Love on them, understand them, appreciate them, even if you choose something different. It's the only way we can heal the hate and the hurt and the judgment and the war in our world. It's the only way we can stop having war in our homes. So stop creating war in your home. Go to seek to be understood. And you know what? If you spend the next 10 years just understanding and no one ever returns it back, don't even get me started. But I promise they won't get it for the first bit. They just won't get it for the first bit. I have my brother, when I came back to him and I said, I'm sorry, I love you, I won't be like that anymore. He's like, you can't go to one personal development event, just come back, think everything's okay. And so of course, Shanda, being the challenge motivated human I am, was like, challenge accepted. I will prove to you I have changed. And then I went on this crazy journey, and this was literally 5 years ago. So I just want you to know that it might take 5 years, but you must be diligent with sowing that seed, and I promise it'll come back to you tenfold. So be an ambitious sower, put it out there, go seek to understand, go seek to listen, create the space where people can feel heard. Do you know how many people cry at lunch with me just because there's no judgment? Like, I love you guys. I love you no matter what. Even if you hate me, I love you. Because we're one, we're all connected in this universe. So I just want to, with that, know that I'm cheering you freaking on. Whatever your weekend has in store, whatever your life has in store, whatever your next week has in store, I just want to say cheers. Because you know what? I may not get it, but I'm here to listen, and I can't wait to hear your questions next week. So we're going to do Winning in Wine, 5-ish. I'll post the time. It depends how the day goes. On Friday, and I will see you then. And I just want to say thank you. I'm going to make sure that Andrew's link gets posted. So if you're in Nanaimo or you're looking for online help, my man, we actually hadn't seen each other in years. We ran into each other on the seawall. It's been such a blessing. So with that, I just want to say, get it.
Can I expand on the communication?
Yeah, I would love that. Okay, we'll have him continue.
So when I was in my yoga school, my yoga teacher training in Costa Rica, we did an activity that was called co-listening, and we did it for 20 minutes each. So that was pretty intense. But even if you notice that you and your spouse or you and your friend are having a conflict, just like put your hand up. Whoa, wait a second, right? And then you can do rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first or whatever, but set a timer.
Or just let them go first.
Or just let them go first. But we're all Canadians, so I don't think it would ever go anywhere. But but yeah, set a timer for 5 minutes, and just listen, right? One person listens, one person talks, and then when your time is done, then you switch it up, and the other person gets a chance to talk. So what this does is it really helps us get out of our waiting for the person to finish speaking so that you can, and you're actually not listening to them, but you're waiting for them to finish so that you can respond. You know what I mean? And so it gets you out of your head, and then and it gives you both a fair chance to get your point across, right? And it works wonders, right? It's communication is so important in any relationship. So if you can have that balance and that trust to know that you can be heard between each other, that's a powerful thing to have in a relationship. So
imagine that at work. Imagine that with your employees. Yeah. Imagine that with your customers. Imagine that with your biggest complaints. Imagine your angry customer calling you, and that's how you respond. You know what? I'm really eager to hear you out. Let me just give you finally booze, right, Lance? Let's get it. So, when you create that space and you give people the space to feel heard, and you actually go with the intention of that, it's game changer. So with that, Shanda right, ROI done right, because life is way too short to waste a moment of energy, time, or money, and we can put all those things to work for us so we can do the fun stuff. And thank you, Andrew. I just appreciate you so much. And I just, absolutely. Cheers. And if you guys I've had the pleasure of knowing this gentleman. If you have the pleasure of working with this gentleman, you are so blessed. His heart to serve and help is above all. And so I'll make sure that his information is shared in the bottom. And, he works with winners. And if you're looking to win with your health, your mind, your body, then, I know a good guy. So I'll make sure I share it with you. And please submit your questions. Let's submit your questions for next week. Let me know if you want to be the next person to interview. If you're not in town, we'll do it on Zoom. It's not a problem. I have one in my house, in case you didn't notice. It's always behind me on my Zoom. It's hilarious. And I just wish you the very best weekend, and please enjoy each moment.